recording. It's recording. Okay, so we'll just go over any questions that you guys know that you get a lot from coach prospects, or questions you had when you first joined, and kind of go about it that way. So
mine isn't really a question, but I guess a misconception that I get a lot is that what we do is sell things. And so a lot of people who are kind of, I guess, antsy or on the fence about wanting to join is that they don't want to be a salesperson. So
what I have been saying lately since I got back from the Platinum Edge conference is because I just had actually someone say that to me today, and I was like, great. I don't want to be a salesperson either. Like, I don't want you to be a salesperson. And I say, actually, like, it's not about selling the products. It's about selling yourself. So you just want to sell yourself and what is working for you in your journey. So it's really important to like have a journey and like be sharing what you're doing and what's working for you, even if it's not necessarily Beachbody products. So I've kind of been wording it like that versus like, yeah, you have to sell products. And if they come back and say, well, you have to sell something, and I'm like, yeah, you have to sell something with anything you do. Like if you want to become a gym owner, you have to sell memberships. If you want to become a personal trainer, you have to sell like packages and sessions. If you want to become anything, you have to sell something. We're all salespeople in a sense, but with this, you won't be successful if you're focusing on selling the products. You really have to focus on selling yourself. And I think that it's a better way of wording it than selling products, I guess.
And I think too, like one way that I've thought of it is that you build a relationship and you talk to someone about their goals. And then as you get to know them and know what their goals are, if there is a product that could get them to reach their goal, then you offer it as a suggestion, but you don't push it if they don't need it. You don't push it if they don't want it. And really it's more about, in order for them to reach their goal, kind of like the end result is that then they purchase something in order to get that, but it's not about pushing the product or selling them something that they don't need.
Right. And it's really important, I think, to find what their needs and their goals are. Because I think what makes you a salesperson is if you are trying to sell them something without figuring out what their goals and their needs are. So that's, I think, super important to know as new coaches, to know, just to really build relationships and find a need in people, whether it has to do with coaching or not, or Beachbody or the products or not,
Lauren, will you talk a little bit about personal training, like people who want to be personal trainers and who want to go that route, and either how this would fit in or how it's different, or maybe why this might possibly be a better solution than going into personal training?
Yeah. Which one do I want to touch on first? So a little background for whoever is going to be watching this. I was a personal trainer and still am certified. I was training probably for a year while I was coaching, and I found out where I live, because where we live, I couldn't charge a lot for my time for personal training because people wouldn't pay for it. And I would have had to market like crazy because the gym I was training at didn't market for me. So those two things right there were super, like, one was really time consuming. Well, and the other one was time consuming because I wasn't getting paid enough to make it worth it. So I found that I was spending a lot of time at the gym, not necessarily personal training people, and what I was earning wasn't worth it because I had to pay a certain percentage to the gym every month, whether or not I had the clients or not, because I was renting from them. So right there was kind of like, well, this sucks, And I think what people don't understand, because I have prospects too who say, well, I'm just going to do personal training. And I don't think they understand that there's a lot of time that needs to go into becoming a personal trainer, and you can't help as many people as you think. Like, okay, if you are training 5 people, that's 5 hours right there. That's a day's worth of training sessions. You know, like you only helped 5 people that day, which is awesome, but you don't know what they're doing. Like when they go home, you don't have that accountability group for them when they go home. But I also think for people who are personal trainers already and have that clientele built up, this is an awesome way to add another tool under their belt for their clients for when they go home or for days they don't meet with them. They can do a workout at home, or they can add Shakeology in to like supplement their nutrition. I did that a lot. I had a lot of my clients on Shakeology because I knew at least if they were drinking that every day, they were getting something healthy in. So I think either way, depending on like if you're an experienced personal trainer and you've been personal training for a long time, coaching is a great tool to add to it. But if you're looking at personal training versus coaching, coaching in the long run is going to be a lot better than personal training would be, in my opinion, depending on where you live. That's just how I view it, I guess. I almost should make like a doc of why I chose coaching versus personal training.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll write it down. Add it to to-dos. Did that answer most of those questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to touch on, I get some questions about people being apprehensive with their posts. They see my posts. I've become very open and honest about, my struggles and my weight. And I think that it intimidates a lot of new coaches.
Well, I could say that for my team personally, I have coaches who you have like the really like outgoing coaches, and then you have the coaches who don't feel comfortable sharing that right off the bat. I think that personal development is huge. I think that just the more comfortable that you feel with your own journey helps. And coaches who started out as being really shy and not wanting to share or not wanting to post have really come a long way. I think if you get to the point where you know that what you are posting is helping someone else, and then you kind of lose that fear of posting it.
I think to remind them that they just need to post stuff that is them. So if they ever are writing up a post and they feel like, oh, this is not me, this feels icky, don't post it, because it's not who they are. But they also need to know if they want to be successful, they have to share bits and pieces of their journey. It doesn't have to be like crazy emotional, super like vulnerable right off the bat, but slowly sharing bits and pieces of their journey when they start is what's going to attract people to them. And I think that's the biggest thing, not in like any type of salesy way, but just little bits and pieces like, oh my gosh, I'm able to fit into my skinny jeans. Take a picture of you in your skinny jeans. Or this shirt used to be like way too tight. Now it's way too big. Take a picture of that and post it. Or I'm down 5 pounds. Like those are little pieces that can help them lead up into something that's eventually bigger when they're ready to share that. Because it is scary. It's scary to share vulnerable things, especially if you're not used to social media and you haven't dug into that personal development aspect yet.
Well, and too, if people don't view you as like a health and fitness person, to then start posting vulnerable posts it's not natural unless you're just naturally that type of person. But
right.
I think kind of easing into it is a good way.
And it doesn't.
Yeah, I know I eased into it. I feel like the more open I've become with my posts, it's also helped me to kind of embrace where I used to be. Because a lot of us, hide those pictures because they don't, we don't want to be in front of the camera. We don't want to admit that that's what we used to look like. But now just posting those pictures more and more, I realized that it was okay. Like I was happy back then. And even if I wasn't happy, that's where I used to be. And that's kind of like it's helping me. So I hope, and I have a post that popped up from like over a month ago that somebody saw. And now it's back in the news feed and it's helping some people. And it was a scary post for me to post.
Mm-hmm.
But it helped me then, and it's helping people now.
Right, right. And I think remembering that they don't have to, just because now they're a coach doesn't mean that they only have to post health and fitness stuff. Like really reminding them that they are still them, and posting bits and pieces of their journey and them losing weight or getting closer to the goals. People will start to view not necessarily them as health and fitness like gurus, but they'll see their journey and progress, and people will start being attracted to that because they're sprinkling the little things in. Like I think if you were to just, let's say you went through a journey and you had 100 pounds to lose and you didn't post anything from that whole time you lost 100 pounds, and you were like, oh, hey, I was here. Now I lost 100 pounds. Yeah, it's motivating, but you'd have so many more people attracted to your journey and like relatable to you, being able to relate to you when you're sharing it throughout the journey versus here's where I was, I'm at the end now, and nothing in between.
Well, I think that also then kind of like feeds right into the other question, like, do I have to be at my goal weight? Which we know that answer, obviously, but it's true that a lot of people want to see the journey. People want to see like kind of what it took for you to get there, and if you can do it, they can do it. People want to be there for the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And I know, Lauren, like you said before, that you think that a lot of times people are actually more attracted to the journey than someone who hasn't had to go on a journey at all.
Yep. And I think, like for me personally, like when people look at my before pictures, yeah, I could say, like people do say, well, you look good before. Yeah, but I wasn't personally at my goal weight. I maybe only I don't even think my before and afters, I'm probably still the same weight right now. But for people that they have a hard time relating to that when they have more than 5 pounds to lose, you know? Right. So when you have somebody coming in as a coach that has 50 pounds to lose or even 100 pounds to lose, they can relate to so many more people than maybe somebody like me who only had 5 pounds to lose. But my goal wasn't to lose weight. It was to like add in tone and muscle, whatever, you know? So it depends on the person, but I definitely think the journey is, if you're sharing your journey constantly, people will be attracted to it no matter what. What other questions you got? These are good ones.
I think of other things we've gotten.
Okay, here's a question I think that I get often, and I think a lot of you guys probably get it too. Do I need to join with a challenge pack? So you don't have to have your coaches join with a challenge pack. I know like Michelle, she never joined with the challenge pack, but she already had Insanity. So she paid the $40 and did Insanity. But I know for people who haven't, this is what I tell my prospects. If you haven't ever gone through any of the programs, joining with the challenge pack is a must, because otherwise you're just a salesperson because you haven't started your journey with the programs. If they've gone through the 21-day fix before and let's say they physically can't order Shakeology right now and they only can do the $40, I let them do that and just let them know like, okay, we're going to start a challenge group with you right away. Since you've gone through the 21-day fix or you've gone through this program, you have before and afters we can share, and get people interested to do a challenge group so you can order your Shakeology through that commission. So it kind of getting them started off right away if they just do the $40 is a must, but I think they've had to have gone through programs and kind of know what Beachbody is about a little bit program wise before they just sign up with like the $40.
For sure. I had one coach who really prefers to be in the gym. And so that's another thing I've gotten from a couple people, like, well, what if I like to work out in the gym? And so I've said, like, there are successful coaches who prefer the gym. And like, Lauren, you spend time in the gym, you do both. I still think it's important to at least go through one so that you have experience with one and really know the product so that you know what things can help others.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not to say that you can never step foot in a gym again.
No. And when I go to the gym, I do body beasts at the gym. So I'm still doing a Beachbody workout. I'm just at the gym doing it.
Yeah.
And I think you made a really good point. Like going through even just the 21-day fix, it's 21 days, and at least you have a before and after you can share with people, and you've gone through a program. But a lot of the programs like P90X, you can take to the gym. P90X3, you can probably take that to the gym. Like a lot of them you could take to the gym and do them at the gym if you really preferred to work out at the gym. And I seriously, before I started, I worked out at the gym all the time. Like I was there when I was like personal training, and this was before I had even really committed to working out at home. I was at the gym for like 2 hours working out, and I was always wondering why I never got the results I wanted. My eating was not where it was supposed to be. And then I started actually like committing to doing workouts at home, and it's crazy how it just kind of shifted. So like now what I do is, since we work out in the garage, I can't do that during the winter months. So wintertime, I'm at the gym doing body beast. Summertime or warmer months, I'm in the garage doing like whatever workouts in the garage. Home. One day I'll have a room in the house to do that in. So then I'll probably be at home all the time versus the gym. But yeah, I get that question a lot too from people. Well, I prefer to be in the gym. Well, that doesn't mean that you still can't help people, right?
Right.
Okay, we have 10 minutes left, so let's make these 10 minutes good questions.
Well, I know when I first signed, I had I did T25, and then I had canceled my Shakeology because I didn't think I needed it. And when I signed up as a coach, I signed up with just the $40. And I tried to do the business without Shakeology, didn't think I really needed it. But I actually remembered how I felt when I drank it, and it was just, it didn't feel right to promote something that I wasn't already, taking myself. And then I actually enjoyed it, so I quickly jumped back on.
Right. And I think
so that was something that
I think with the whole Shakeology thing too, if you're not consistently drinking it, you're being a salesperson if you're trying to make people drink it. And I think that's something I tell coaches who are prospects who say, like they want to coach, but they don't want to drink Shakeology. And yeah, that's fine, but you won't be as successful as the coaches who do drink Shakeology. And
That was going to be me. I was not going to drink it.
I was like, man, you should almost tell your story about like, that would be something good to,
When Lauren approached me about coaching, I was strict paleo, strict. And so I was happy with the fact that Shakeology was gluten-free and there were 2 vegan options, but I did not want to put grains in my body. Like for me, there was a reason I didn't do it. And so, but she basically told me like, you can not drink it, but you probably won't be as successful. And this was something that I at least wanted to honestly look into. So I did my own research for a couple of weeks and found that things that really mattered to me, Shakeology already included them. So like it's already organic, it's non-GMO, the cacao powder is fair trade, like all those things are really important to me. So I kind of just told her, all right, I'll give it, 30 days. And if after 30 days I don't like it, or even like within the 30 days, if there's something that doesn't feel right, if my body reacts to it, I'm out. And like within a week, I messaged her and I was like, oh my God, this stuff is amazing. And she's like, I told you. But I had more energy. My mood was better. My cravings were decreased. And I'm the type of person that I'm not going to BS anyone. I would have been totally honest with Lauren if I hated it. And I would have had to figure out what I was going to do. But luckily I don't have to worry about that.
And I think I love that because I think you're going to attract people who are strict like paleo like that. And you can tell them straight up, like, here's the deal. I was too, and I still am, but here's why I like Beachbody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Versus and you can actually say why besides just, it has these vitamins and nutrients in it. Like you can break it down like, well, the things I really were really important to me, why I went paleo, it's in Shakeology or whatever, however you want.
And I think
Oh,
too that
video.
people just don't understand. We need to each make a video. Like, people don't understand that it's not just a protein shake. It's not just a meal replacement shake. That, like, I like to describe it as if it's as you are going into Whole Foods in the supplement, vitamin, superfood aisle, and you just take one of each off the shelf in your cart, and think about how much that would cost you, first of all. And then it's already all in Shakeology. So it's so much more. It's more than just like a multivitamin too. So
Right. It's everything. And
yep.
I think, yeah, people don't understand that it's more than just protein. Yeah, you can take it as a protein shake after your workout, but you're getting like a million times more things in it than you would just your normal protein shake.
Yep.
Yeah, when I first started drinking it, I was working out at night at 9 o'clock at night after the kids went to bed. And so I thought it was like a protein shake. And so I would drink it at 10 o'clock at night. It didn't really do anything for me except for, wake me up. And then I started to drink it in the afternoons before my workout, when I started to change my workout to like 5 o'clock. And it didn't, seem to help me out as much. But when I changed it to breakfast is when it just totally, everything changed. It sets your body for the whole day. Your metabolism, you become more regular. It just sets the tone for your whole day. And I remember when I first started it that I was just so anti like shake. I was like, no, I can't do that. I don't need that. And when I started to feel better, I was really against trying to say that Shakeology made me feel better. I was like, no, it's probably because I had an extra half hour of sleep. I did not want to admit that this was making me feel better because I felt like I was jumping on the bandwagon about it. Right. But it really did. And so after about a week, I was like, I guess I don't want to eat a burger tonight. Right. Little things started changing and it just clicked.
And I think the biggest thing like I get is people saying, well, I'd rather eat my food. So would I. I'm not asking you to drink it every meal. I'm asking for one meal, and it can be a snack. It can be an extra snack. It can be a on-the-go drink while you're driving to work. Like, I don't care when you drink it. Just drink it. Like, it doesn't have to be – I think what happens is there's so many companies out there where you have to drink 2 shakes a day, or you have to drink 3 shakes and you can only have supper, whatever you want to eat. So I think shakes in general get a bad misconception that you need to have it for more than 1 meal a day. And honestly, as long as you get it in, depending on what your goals are, you will feel better,
Well, and one thing too that I noticed, like kind of going back to the 21-day fix, but even in the lowest bracket, you're supposed to have 4 servings of protein. Most people don't get, even if you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner and you have protein at each meal, you're still not getting 4 servings in your lowest bracket. So I already knew I wasn't getting enough. And without drinking Shakeology, like there's no way that I'd be eating enough to get everything that I need. So,
right.
Like Andrea says, it's the duh meal. Don't even have to think about it.
No, for sure.
Okay, I know a lot of people ask me how many grams of protein are in Shakeology, and I think everyone's looking for 25, 30 grams. They're looking for that, stereotypical protein shake. And I just explained that was never meant to be like a protein shake.
Well, and if they can get a good quality protein shake, like protein powder, they can add that to their Shakeology. I know we do that. Like, I need to get a non-whey kind, but Nick has a whey-based protein that he adds sometimes to his, so they can beef it up if they need to. But like you said, like if it's 1 serving of protein, if they know how much protein they're supposed to be having, they should be okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it's got a lot of protein in it though. I mean that's what keeps you full.
Right. Okay, we have 2.5 minutes, so maybe one more question. Good question. Think about a good one.
So hard because we don't have these questions anymore.
This is why we needed the prospects on here. How about time? I know a lot of people, we probably are going to get cut off, so hopefully not. I know a lot of people say they think they need a lot of time in their day, and I know like both you guys are working. So just quick, how many hours a week or how many hours a day do you devote to your business while working full time?
I started out working probably about 1.5 hours and then added in some training with videos. But now I work probably closer to 2 to 3 hours a day, even on weekends. And it's not because I feel like I have to, it's because I love it that much.
Right.
Like I added hours because it's what truly makes me happy. It's not because I feel like I have to do it.
Right.
Yeah, same here. I started out with about an hour a day, but I honestly couldn't get enough of it because there's just so much training that you can't ever learn everything, and there's just so much out there. So I started about an hour a day, then I started to bump up to an extra hour and a half. Now I probably get about 3 to 4 hours, and that's just my own choice because I really enjoy it and I like talking to people.
Right. See, you don't start out with an hour. Okay, I want everybody to smile so we can take a picture, and we'll end there. Oh shoot. Gosh, I do that every time. Okay, so we'll stop.